Shalom, La Bachayarium, Shal Yasha'Allah. Peace to the election of the nation of Israel. First of all, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Hakodash. And double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who are well. Peace and salutations to the sincere Akim wa Akwathium, sisters and the brothers and sisters who are listening and learning. Of course, working out their own salvation with fear and trembling. Shemyah Mafpa, my name. Mafpa is a Mafpa. Mafpa means truth. From the Great Millstone Plaintables camp located here in the city of Philadelphia, PA, Babal in Babylon, which is a place of all confusion, which the Lord is bringing down Mashapatium judgments to it. Alright, to the wicked, to, of course, this whole system, which we have here, this article, which it says here, successful farming off of this site, which it reads, in wake of Nebraska floods, beef producers face a new normal. Hope and resiliency keeps Nebraska cattle producers going in wake of floods, in which you have it where the Lord has been judging, of course, bringing down judgment via these storms and tempests. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to start with a couple scriptures, which have a pretty much collection of scriptures, which I'm going to start here at the book of Nahum, chapter 1 and 2. And it says here, the Most High Yahweh is jealous. Or it says the Most High is jealous, and Yahweh revengeth. And it says Yahweh revengeth and is furious. Yahweh will take vengeance on his adversaries and reserveth wrath for his enemies. Yahweh is slow to anger and great in power, and will not acquit the wicked. Yahweh hath his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. In which Nebraska was, of course, devastated, is being devastated by rainfall, storms via, of course, snow, and it's caused quite a catastrophic damage to livestock, seed, wheat and such, right, financially, in the agriculture sector, in which that, of course, is going to bring down famine, of course, here in the States, in Babal, alright? There's a lot of these farmers, right? They, of course, they produce these, the cattle, the beef, of course, wheat, of course, for our food supply. So, without further ado, we're going to go into some more scriptures. This is going to be the book of Job, Iowa, chapter 38. And this is going to be verse 25. And this, this was the Most High Yahweh speaking via, of course, he was a chariot, all right, to Iowa or Job, all right. It says, who hath divided the water course for the overflowing of waters, or a way of lightning for thunder, to cause it to rain on the earth where no man is, on the wilderness where there is no man, to satisfy the desolate in the waste ground, and to cause the bud of the tender herb to spring forth. Hath the rain a father, or who hath begotten the drops of dew? it says, out of whose womb came the ice and the hoary frost of heaven, who hath gathered or gendered it. It says, the waters is hid as a stone, and the face of the deep is frozen. Right? And this, of course, is all Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, who, of course, done these things. Okay? Caused the rain to the earth. Alright? Causing, of course, and visiting the earth via these storms and such, and bringing down Mashapatya, judgments. Alright? In which Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is judging the wicked. This is going to be the book of Ecclesiasticus. I believe this is in the 43rd chapter, starting at verse 17. It says here, actually I'm going to start here at verse 10. It says, at the commandment of the Holy One, they will stand in their order and never faint in their watches. It says, look upon the rainbow and the praise of him that made it. Very beautiful it is in the brightness thereof. It compasseth the heaven about with a glorious circle, and the hands of the Most High have bended it. By his commandment he maketh the snow to fall a place, which a place, alright, when I went into, or I have a pace, but a place I got here with rapid movement. He works quickly, rapidly, alright. The Lord, of course, who makes, of course, the snow to move, alright, rapid, alright, a place, and sendeth swiftly the lightnings of his judgment, and quick, which, the Lord has, of course, what he brought, not only a catastrophic rainfall, which brought forth flooding, but also snowfall. All right. It says, by his great power he maketh the clouds firm, and the hailstones are broken small. At the sight, the mountains are shaken. The mountains, of course, symbolize, of course, you have governments and such in the scriptures, and that his will the south wind bloweth. All right. So, this is all just giving you examples. The Lord doeth all these things, doth all these things here. Alright, so this is a working of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. This is going to be the book of Psalms 9 and 5. It says, the heathen are sunk down in the pit that they made, and the net which they hid is their own foot taken. It says, Yahweh is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snare in the work of his own hands. Alright, it says, Higon Salah, pause. It says, the wicked shall be turned into Sha'awal, or grave, or hell, which is the grave. Alright, in all nations that forget the Most High. And Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is doing that by visiting the place. Alright, so let's go into this wee article. It says here that there's a lot of hope. If you don't have hope, you shouldn't be a farmer or farming. It says Mike Comiskey, a Loop City, Nebraska farmer and cattle producer. It says Comiskey joins thousands of Nebraska cattle producers who are dealing with the aftermath of floodwaters and blizzards that brought devastation to their state. It says the difficult calving, right? The birthing of calves and stuff, season that began in February, and the storm and the bitter cold became much worse on March 13. It says when the western Nebraska was dealt a terrible blizzard, and the eastern half heavy rain and flooding, as the winter storm, a bomb cyclone, brought hurricane force winds and heavy precipitation in different forms of the areas in Nebraska, Colorado, and North and South Dakota. It says this storm came at the worst time possible for cattle producers during the thick of the calving season. And it says here that we already had over half of our cows calve out, and have been very fortunate to have 102% of half a crop prior into March 13, while others have lost many calves in the bitter cold, or quar, which is colder. It says, or cool. It says, Comiskey says, however, when the flood waters rose, it led to losses we weren't expecting. It says when it began falling, on March 12th, there was already 8 to 10 inches of snow in the frozen ground, causing severe runoff, and the river swelled out of the banks among the huge ice chunks, breaking apart and causing damage nearby at farm ground, explains. Right, and this is going to go into, if you can read it, a lot of these, these farms got hit, and the cattle, suffered from it. All right, so it says here, I'm going to continue just pick out the wee bits that I want. It says we've been dealing with calves with hypothermia, and even ones who found right away warmed up, who immediately president of Nebraska Cattlemen Association, when the weather didn't go look to be breaking, they decided to bring the next closest 100 cows near the building site, and were able to help the cows and calves easily. And the cold rains moved in on March 13th. The water nearby Cedar River and other creeks rose so fast. It says, I've lived here my whole life. This is the second highest I have seen water to flood. And he of course notes August 13, 1966. It says the difference in 66 was the temperature. We lost cattle with the flood. Alright. A lot of cattle was washed away into the river. Would be found downstream, both dead or mawath wa alive or khaya. Alright, so it says here, animal stresses ahead. Health problems and cattle stress from the weather event are starting to appear. You got cows that have suffered from scores of pneumonia. And also you have it there, due to the stress that these pregnant cows right now they have affected their reproduction ability in the long term. And I'm gonna go to, of course, down here it says that the farm ground that has been washed away with the rivers of the field covered in sand, silt, and trees beside lost soil, feces are nearly non-existent in many areas covered in the flood waters. You have it that complete devastation of farmland and all that. Financial toll, preliminary estimate of by the Nebraska Department of Agriculture is is more than 1 billion hit to the agriculture industry, though it could be weeks, months before the loss can be accurately tallied. We don't have to look far to find someone who will help, and they know, of course, that funds will be set up by Nebraska Cattlemen, and it goes in. It's our bankers who will have the final say, and how easily farmers will be able to recover. And many, of course, you have it. Most of these farmers are in debt anyway, and they just using, of course, the money they borrowed, and just keep funneling it into, of course, try to, of course, keep their head above water. A lot, of course, these farmers drive themselves into suicide also. And let me see. It says here that both cattlemen lost dozens of cattle due to rising flood and the impact of the storm. All right, and this is basically what I'm going to bring out here in this particular article. You got here icebergs left in wake of the Nebraska flooding. Various images of these icebergs. Here, very thick. All right, and got this here. Nebraska flood damage 1.5 million and rising. This was back published in the. This was back in March 20th. The other article which I was reading from, right, was the 21st. All right, first. All right, so you have it here. Damage estimates are emerging from the state of Nebraska, and although preliminary, they are staggering. 439 million road and bridge infrastructure, 85 million private residential property, 400 million in calf losses, and 400 million in crop losses. 41 businesses destroyed, 2,067 homes destroyed, 200 miles in roads damaged, 16 state highways and bridges that are impassable. Simply put, this is the most widespread natural disaster we've ever had in our state's history, Nebraska Governor Pete Ricketts said in a briefing. Right, so you have it here that the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai is bringing down judgment, and He's bringing it quick and swiftly. It's biblical prophecy. This is going to be the book of 2nd Esdras. I believe this is in the 15th chapter, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to start. Yeah, this is the 15th and start not verse 11. It says here that, but I'm going to start at 10. It says, behold, my people is fled, which is people is the Most High's people are the Israelites. Right, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans, right, the Lord's chosen people. Behold, my people is led as a flock to slaughter. I will not suffer them to dwell in the land of Egypt. The land of Egypt is talking about America, right, which is modern day Egypt. Okay, it's a place of our captivity, of our slavery. All right, it's a spiritual Sodom in Egypt. All right, it says, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched arm, and smite Egypt with plagues, curses, as before, and I will destroy all the land thereof. Going to the history of Egypt being smit with these various plagues, which was destructive, and it's happening again. It says, Egypt shall mourn, cry, and such, bewail. The foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague of punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. It says, and this is my point here, verse 13, they that till the ground shall mourn, right? And that's the farmers, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting in hail and the fear with fearful consolation. All right, so you have it that these farmers, of course, like I mentioned, they're mourning. Okay, you have it where, look at the catastrophic damage that's been done is, it's gonna destroy, this economy is just gonna burst. You have it, you have it not only with the wheat, you have it this cattle, whatever. Of course, you basically setting to grow, you're growing your calves and such, that could be a seed. All right, because a cow, it burps what, from a seed or whatever sperm you go into it, these various calves, and of course they, are failing, being destroyed. The Lord is bringing down judgment. That's making, of course, the people, the farmers, mourn. All right, let Let me see what I got here. Gonna be the book of Ecclesiastes in the Bible, chapter 4 and 6. It says, better is with a handful with quietness than both hands full of travail and vexation of spirit. Alright, alright. You have it where you have travail, aimal, which that's baria, the Hebrew, the bar word, which is toil, alright, trouble, labor, mischief, alright, which you're going through, of course, bad times, alright. It's better to have a handful of quietness, having peace, than both hands, right? Let me read it again. Both hands full with travail, or aimal, wa vexation of spirit. Okay. Let's go to my next scripture. Ecclesiastes chapter 5. And this is going to be verse 8. It says, if thou seest oppression of the poor and the violent perverting of judgment and justice in a province, marvel not at the matter, for he that is higher than the highest regardeth, and there be a higher than they. Moreover, the profit of the earth is for all. The king himself is served by the field. Right? It's served by obviously the field being what is being planted. Alright? That of course is for your food. Alright? Or ma'akal Noah. Alright? Our food. Alright? That's in Hebrew. Of eat our. It says, he that loveth silver shall not be satisfied with silver, kasabia, nor he that loveth abundance with increase. For the love of money is the root of all evil. Alright. It says this is also vanity. Alright. This is all vanity. Alright. Because you have it where Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is a covetous man. And, him being so greedy, forcing these farmers to do mass production of these cattle. Alright. They, of course, genetically engineer. And of course, destroying, alright, our foods being tainted, being defiled, alright. This is destroying the earth, destroying everything. And this is why the Lord has to destroy this damn devil. And he's doing it systematically. So anyway, I just wanted to do a wee lesson on this. Hopefully you're edified. Just wanted to cover this. In wake of Nebraska floods, beef producers are facing a new normal. This, of course, is going to affect all of us. Bring forth famine. That once he call Haloyim La Yahweh Bashim Mashah Bashim Rukakadash and the Blanche to Els of House at Great Millstone. Shalom to the election. Shalom.